not?
All right. Are we live?
We are.
We
are live. We are live.
Are we up?
Ooh.
Are we up and running?
Well, we are live.
We are live.
The thing says we're
The
live.
thing said, okay.
Whether we're up and running or not, I don't know. But
Who
we're
knows?
having our typical conversation about.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're on the air or not, but I think we're on the air, but we don't know yet. Good morning, everybody. This is probably Roundtable.
I hope so.
One of these days. Oh, I know that we're on the air because I just got the alert.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're not getting the alerts, there's the quick. There we go. There we are. If you're not getting the alerts, there's a quick fix. Just make sure that you tap the subscribe button. You tap that bell button for all notifications, and whenever we go live, you'll know about it.
Yeah.
Or whenever a new video is put up, you'll know about it. So, a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. So, welcome to Roundtable.
Yeah.
He's Randy Lynch. I'm BJ Ramirez. And today is, we're like the last week of April.
Yeah.
Because I just realized next week, I already know, don't even have to tell me. I'll be the one to say it.
Uh-huh.
Next week will be our tribute to Star Wars show because it will be May the 4th.
Uh-huh.
So I'll go ahead and admit that.
Are you trying to say that you're a little bit nerdy?
A little bit.
See, here's the wonderful thing. It's not the week of May the 4th next week.
No.
This is cool.
Yeah, it's going to be the day.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty cool.
I think that's
neat.
neat.
It's going to be fun. Just don't have the movie playing while I'm singing because I'm still too bitter about that.
Oh, I've already got the whole show planned out. We're going to talk all things Star Trek.
Oh, there you go. Of course. Okay.
Be very careful.
Very, very.
I'll get Leon Garner.
Oh yeah.
To come on. He's a hardcore Trek fan. So
yeah.
We'll just make things hard on you all the way around.
Oh my gosh.
So
crazy guy.
At any rate, yeah, that'll be next week.
So we're posting on to make sure that everybody finds us on Facebook. At least I am.
Yeah.
And he's making sure that you can actually hear us because we did that before.
Yeah, I'm posting onto my OnlyFans.
There we go. So I began to. I got here and I started telling him about. I played at. I had 2 gigs last weekend. Friday night at Don Felix.
Mm-hmm.
The wind was blowing horribly, but a good number of people showed up. A bunch of people from my church showed up, and that was great because I have my my song that talks about my faith, and they were one of them was a lead pastor at our church, and he was actually impressed. I was like, "Wow, that's cool." But the wind started to die down as the night went along. I got a bunch of messages saying, "I'm sorry, my allergies are killing me. There's no way I can sit through it." And I totally understood. But my wife showed up with my wife came over and my daughter and her husband went out. So she had both the girls. So the baby was being passed around. So that was not a problem. And my granddaughter was having a good time. So it was kind of neat I just think it's cool when I'm playing and I got my wife there and both my granddaughters.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And
it's modern rock and roll.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You're playing with your grandchildren there.
So that it turned out to be a lot of fun. Don Felix is a great place. The wait staff there are just so nice, and they're so good to me. So we had a really good time despite the wind. I got through it. You can hear the wind in my microphone a lot, and I had to catch my music stand a couple of times.
Yeah,
but got through the night, and it was still fun. Saturday night though. Was really fun. Okay, so I played at D.H. Lacombs in Alamogordo. It was prom night.
Oh, God.
And D.H. Lacombs is a nice restaurant. So, of course, most of the high school kids are showing up. It was so cute to see all these kids dressed to the hilt, and they look so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They look, especially, it was funny because I saw a few guys in nice tuxedos and they look I was surprised how you could tell by the way they walk, by the way they stand, that they just don't want to be in, they don't want to be doing that.
Right.
But this time it was more the girls that I saw. Like one girl was wearing a beautiful long gown, nice shoes, and boy, when she walked, she looked so uncomfortable. I was like, "Wow, you are not used to this." And then,
Yeah.
and then to see, and then to see now, in the short time that Beauty by Lex has been at my spa,
Mhm.
she does eyelashes, eyelash extensions. I start to notice these things. I should not be able to tell by from 20 feet away that you've got fake eyelashes.
Oh, there you go.
I was like, wow. One girl, I don't know what she was thinking. She was a rail. She was very, very skinny, um, tall. She was pretty, but she had a really nice dress on. It was a really great color, but her makeup, her lipstick was so dark. I was like, and she was so light. And then she had these eyelashes that entered the room before she did.
Ah, yeah.
It was so distracting. It's just watching these kids. They were having fun. They were
Mhm.
dressing up. It was prom, you know. They had, but it was like, okay, this is, and the next time they dress like that, it'll probably be somebody's wedding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I hate to make fun of them, but being that I was there, and it seemed like we looked forward to it. I remember when I was in high school, man. It's like, oh, we get to wear tux. When I was
Mhm.
in madrigals, I was in a madrigal choir. We got to wear a tux the whole time.
Yeah.
So I remember, there were very few people that you look around, and go, God, I can't believe I have to wear this thing.
Mhm.
We were all excited about getting to
Oh,
wear
yeah.
tux and dressing nice, and the girls always looked great. And it's very different nowadays.
Yeah.
Very different
Well,
nowadays.
and you were exposed to dressing up in one way or another
Yeah,
at different points in your life growing up.
yeah,
And I think that's going away a lot.
very much.
Yeah, everything's
My
kind of down dressed no matter what. And I don't think that's necessarily a good thing.
No, because my father, now when he was in school, he was in school in New York, and you had a uniform, dress shoes, slacks, button up long sleeve shirt, and a
Mhm.
tie. You know, I'll never forget the time my dad described his uniform. It was dark blue pants, a white shirt, and a dark blue tie.
Mhm.
Except on Fridays, they would wear a red tie.
Mhm.
And I looked, I'll never forget this because I looked at my dad and I said, "Why a red tie?" And he looks at me, he goes, "Red, white, and blue. Colors ring a bell." I was like, my dad I hated when my dad dropped me off to school because he hated the way Southern California.
Mhm.
Okay. Jeans, t-shirts, the norm, shorts,
Yeah.
even. When you got to junior high and high school, you got to wear shorts.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. My father was just he complained about, I can't believe kids dress like this. I can't, oh my God, look at it. And so needless to say, when I went clothes shopping or they went clothes shopping for me, I didn't get to wear jeans and t-shirts.
Mhm.
So yeah, I got teased a lot.
Yeah.
So I was used to dressing up. Now, when I got to high school, it was okay, because you dress nice. You weren't, being silly or being, they start calling you a sissy or anything because the girls noticed that you
Mhm.
dress nice.
Yeah.
So I started dressing the way, made my dad happy. Of course, girls started noticing me, and then more guys started dressing the way I was dressing, in my
Yeah.
choir at least. It was
Oh, yeah.
fun. So yeah, dressing up it's so you don't see that.
Yeah.
You do not see that.
And it's such an immature thing to be wearing, jeans and a t-shirt, you know?
Even, I mean, I'm wearing a shirt with a collar, and when I play, I wear button-up shirts with collars. Of course, they have the really wild patterns on them, which are
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
It's the coolest thing though about button downs these days is that there's so much stuff out there.
Oh, I remember the 90s, I had some wild looking shirts.
Mhm.
There was a oh gosh, there was a TV show where this kid, he was 17 or 18-year-old kid, and he was the main character, but he wore these crazy shirts, and I was like, that's cool.
Mhm.
And when I found some of them, it became popular to wear those shirts. Nowadays, my kids look at them and go, "What the heck are you wearing, Dad?" And I'm like, stop.
Yeah. Well, we've talked on the show before about Guy Fieri, who
Oh
diners,
yeah.
drive-ins, and drives, and he's kind of made the bowling shirt popular
Yeah.
again. Apparently, he didn't intend that.
Really?
He was on an episode of Hot Ones and eating the wings, doing the questions, and it came up, and he says, "Yeah," says, "I went in and they told me to dress nice," and it's like, I didn't have any fancy clothes, but it's just he had this shirt that somebody had given him that was
Mhm.
a bowling type shirt, so he put it on because it was a button down. Okay,
Yeah.
And so he went in. He did the little pilot thing they were doing. The show got picked up, and the gal in charge of wardrobe saw it, and that's what she got for him, and that's
Oh,
what he
wow.
wore. So it wasn't even his
Wow.
idea.
That's cool.
But no, there's fun ways to dress up.
Yeah. And
Of course, you grew up in the same sort of time period I
yeah.
did, so you're aware of, if you want to get real fancy, you wear the tuxedo T-shirt.
Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
remember that. Wearing that with jeans and sneakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Southern California, the business casual became popular in like mid to late 90s.
hmm
And that was like, collar shirts, the 3-button collar shirts, and not necessarily the shirt and tie in most places. I remember the first job I had at a title company in Glendale, California. It was shirt and tie was the dress code.
Yeah.
And then when I went to work at a Honeywell office, I was a network administrator there, and it was business casual. But then you had a few guys. They had one guy who was a developer, and if he got stuck and he had to clear his mind, he'd check the wind counts at the beach, and he would go windsurfing.
hmm
And then come back the next morning, and or sometimes he'd be leaving and he'd be walking out, and he would hear go, "It's windy." He goes, "It's windy." And he'd be heading to the beach. And so he'd show up in shorts and t-shirts. Sometimes he come right from the beach because he had an idea how to fix something. And these were software and chemical engineers.
Oh yeah.
And they were just a 4-year degree was an entry level.
Yeah.
And then I remember one time we got a new boss from Ontario, Canada, who didn't understand the Southern California culture. And he saw a guy in shorts and a t-shirt walk in, and he goes, "I'm gonna have to talk to your boss." And he goes, "My boss will be in tomorrow." And when his boss showed up, he showed up in jeans and a t-shirt.
Of course.
Just to upset the guy.
Man.
So yeah, it's different now.
Yeah.
But I think it goes with the time. But I mean, it's nice to do something where you have to dress up and look good. I still have ties somewhere.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and if you dress up every once in a while, it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
If you dress up in a tux, you happen to feel more like James Bond.
There you go.
Tell me there's a single guy out there who has not put on a tux, walked by a mirror, and done that. At least. Some of us will actually try to do the accent, as good or as bad as it might be.
Our house in Missouri, we had a really big mirror. It was like a 4x5. It was a huge mirror in the living room. And my son Andrew, every time he walked by, he just kept doing one of those. And then my daughter would walk by. He did, flex, to kind of do the arm flex and kind of stand up straight. And then my daughter would walk by checking her hair it's like every time we walk by, I'm like, this mirror was a mistake.
Yeah, but it's a safety feature.
Exactly.
It allows you to know that nobody in your family is a vampire.
That's true.
You've got to keep up on these things.
My daughter, I was worried about her for a while. It's like the only time she was awake was in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's being a teenager.
Yeah.
And a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you've watched that documentary, you'll know the two can combine. The Lost Boys, I think was.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's.
You can. I think that was made by Ken Burns. Yeah.
At one point, I had 4 teenagers in the house.
Not good.
I do not highly recommend that.
No.
I kept saying I could have gotten a really good tax break. Just get the state to designate my house as an insane asylum.
True. Yeah.
If they came by, they would have done it.
Oh shoot! I didn't put a music stand for you in here today.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah.
That's okay. I have no idea what to do.
Oh, I'm in the same boat. It's been one of those days.
It has been a weird week. I don't know if anybody else is dealing with that too. You can let us know. But yeah, it's been a weird week.
Mm-hmm.
Just my wife started another contract, but this one's a different role. So she started a new contract, and that's kind of proving to be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh yeah,
this time the computer worked. Last time she started a job, 2 weeks before the computer worked.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, it was really bad, but this time it worked. First try, logged in, everything was fine. So that's good.
Yeah. Now I know you've been continuing writing songs.
Yeah,
you kind of got this. These floodgates kind of opened on you.
Yeah, it did. And I will, say hopefully a lot of people understand it's a God thing because it's been way too easy for so many years. Every time I tried, nothing would happen. And then all of a sudden I finally get the notion to try it, and it just,
Mhm.
and then of course you have to think, is this good? Because is this? Are you? And I told my wife, I said, "Are you serious that you're liking these?" I mean, she looks at me going, "You do remember who I am, right?" Because my wife will tell me there was a time where I was preparing a song, learning a song for church, and when I sang it, she goes, "What's the name of the song?" I went, "Pressing On." She goes, "Well, it sounds like you're singing Depressing On. Can you liven it up a little bit?" And then, one
Depends
time
on who you are, I guess.
yeah, so I changed the tempo and she's like, much better. Okay. And then, she goes, "Do it again."
Mhm.
That's her favorite line. "Do it again."
Yeah.
And then one time when I sang a song, she looks at me and goes, "Yeah, you're going to have to change the key."
Well,
So it's just been fun.
mhm.
I've actually, looked back and it's, why couldn't I? And I did do that. Why couldn't I do this 20 years ago, 30 years ago when I was actually, young enough to, and then I look back and I go, I could have never written these songs 30 years
No.
ago because all this stuff happened in the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. If your songwriting is about the words, you've gotta have the experience to do it.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm sorry if you're 15, 16 years old, there's a certain type of song you're gonna write, and
yeah,
it's not gonna have a lot of insight in it.
no. It's simple. It's yeah, and
I'm sorry, guys, it's true.
it's true. You're just not. And so I'm like, wow, this is years ago. I was at a men's retreat, and there were 7 pastors. And at one point, they decided that everybody was going to walk through. The pastors lined up, and they were going to walk through, and all the pastors are going to pray over us. And 5 of the 7 told me that God was going to use me through my music.
Mhm.
And so I'm learning these songs. And then all of a sudden, because I remember that all the time. And then all of a sudden, I'm writing a song. One of the songs I write is "How Do I Believe," which talks about my struggle with going into faith and learning faith. And I'm like, okay, this could probably help someone because, I think a lot of people feel this way. And then it hit me like, maybe this is what he meant. This might have been what they meant
Mhm.
because I kept, how many times I said it here. I don't write music.
Right.
So, and then you were starting and you were making it look easy because but you wrote about what was in your spirit, in your heart.
Yeah.
And my wife would say, "Oh, that poor boy." But
No, poor
yeah,
boy as if I couldn't get it out.
yeah, but it was like, it was, I remember one time we went to, there was a night at Amaro where everybody that did original songs, they
Mhm.
were all depressing.
Oh, yeah.
And my wife was like, "This is sad."
Well, and the thing is, there's some songs that are original
Yeah.
songs here in town that are more depressing because if you knew the backstory.
Yeah, and understood, and she understands that, so she looks at me and says, like, and I try not to. I haven't written anything that was depressed. I did start writing about something that was, a dark time, and I thought, you know what, I don't want to do that.
Mhm.
I don't want to, unless I can make something positive out of it, and I decided not to do that.
Right.
So, like the song that I wrote for my wife, it talks about how hard it is to be without someone, but yet you're going to see them again.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the big part of that song. So yeah, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I'm working on number 6 now, and kind of going back and this one's another kind of more of a Christian based song, and I'm kind of going into, there's all these examples that I'll be playing it soon. Hopefully I'm gonna play it next week. I'm gonna try and get it done because I'm like halfway.
Cool.
I think I'm like halfway done with it. And then you're working on a couple more.
I've actually finished one.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
Cool.
I know that Dallas David Ochoa is going to be very happy. He
Mhm.
actually pulled me aside and says, "Yeah, I hear all these people talking about how, they're looking forward to your music getting happier as you get better." And he says, "I really like a sad song." I was like, "Well, don't worry about it. I'm going to keep doing sad songs no matter what."
Yeah.
So that's just something that's not going to change.
That's cool.
So, God, when you try to find something, you just can't find it. Um, Yeah, one of my favorite locals here lately
Uh-huh.
has been Taylor Paul,
Oh yeah.
and he plays a song. It's called 25.
Mm.
And I mean, if you listen to the words, I mean, it starts out, I'm 25 and barely alive.
Yeah, he played that when he was here.
And it sounds like a real up
Yeah.
song, really. It's pretty, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is just a pretty kind of song. And then you realize he was dealing with cancer
Mm.
when he wrote this.
Yeah.
So it changes the way that you take the song, and
Mhm.
um, yeah, he's something else. He is
Yeah.
actually, and I was going to point this out. He yeah, here you are, dude. He has actually released there it is, a new song,
Mhm.
an official music video for
Yeah.
the song on YouTube. It's on his site, Taylor Paul. Um, and the name of the song is Halfway to Heaven. Really
Mhm.
good song. I don't have a connection to connect it in, or I'd play it, but
But look it up, Taylor Paul on YouTube, Halfway to Heaven.
it's so good.
Yeah.
It really, really is. But yeah, I'm impressed with this kid. I'm proud of this kid. He's moving
Yeah.
ahead so well. And actually, on the song, he doesn't play guitar. He plays keyboards, which makes
Yeah.
me want to strangle him. But
No.
that's a problem for that's my own hang up for another time.
Yeah. I had you find your I mean, he found his niche. Well, he doesn't have a niche. He has a wide variety of what
Oh
he
yeah,
does. So
oh yeah.
me, I always say I'm a singer that also plays guitar.
Hmm.
Um, so you just find a way works for you,
Yeah.
and don't be too up. Don't because if you try if you try to if you keep looking at it that way, you're gonna drive yourself nuts.
Hmm. Well, I got my hair cut,
There you go.
got all that out of my head, and still kept all of this. So I was going to, one of our local musicians in town. He does that, Danny
Yeah.
Ruiz,
Oh, okay.
and we sat there and we were talking about different things musical,
Mhm.
and he freaked me out because he's talking about how he likes what I do and he can't do what I do, and I was like, yeah, but you're an amazing player. So
Mhm.
I told him this, I have to kind of watch with people like that, that I don't sit there and say, man, I'll never be able to do that. I'm not trying to learn how to do
Yeah.
that. So duh,
Yeah.
that's not even a fair comparison.
Right.
So it's a totally different things, and it's kind of neat how it all fits together and everything meshes and lines up right.
Mhm.
Pardon my voice today.
Yeah.
I've been pulling
Everybody's
weeds like crazy and planting new
oh,
stuff in my
man.
in my yard. So yeah, it kind of has left me a
Allergies
little
are
bit. "What?"
I think everybody can relate to that because I mean, there's everybody. I mean, I had a bunch of people message me. I'm sorry I didn't make it. Allergies.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the worst thing about southern New Mexico
Yeah.
is if you got allergy issues when things start to bloom. But otherwise,
Oh yeah.
beautiful out
It's
here.
great out here. I just wrote a song about that.
Cool.
About our moves and stuff. So yeah.
Well, I am going to abandon you for just a second,
Mhm.
so I can go get a music stand so you
Oh,
could play
okay.
something.
All right.
And of course, I've got a new one to try out as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going
Let's
to see how you can riff for a few minutes while I make a
okay.
quick run.
Yeah. I meant to bring one, but
That's all good.
so we've of course we'll in a minute we'll get to all the things that are going on this week because the weather's changing and everybody's doing something. There's places everybody's got stuff going on, so that's really cool. I was out at like I said, Don Felix and Deech Lacombe's and Alamogordo, and it was just people are getting out and doing things, and now the fear thing is over, which is really nice to see. Um, and which is also keeping my business going because people are starting to come back. I've had 2 people call that I haven't seen in months because they figured it's time to get back to getting their nails done. And now that I have the girl that does lashes in our spot, she's very busy too. So it's nice to see everybody getting out and staying busy and having fun. It's really cool. Events are starting to happen. My daughter actually went to an orchestra.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what I was not about to question it because I was like, go. She actually enjoyed it.
Cool.
Her husband took her out. They went out, and that was Friday night. So my wife and I had the girls. But yeah, they went to an orchestra, which kind of blew me away. My daughter was like, it was really cool because the sound was so different, and I was like, wow, my daughter's expanding her. She's growing. My little girl is growing.
Took me a minute to find it because it wasn't with my other guitar. I forgot. It was in my case with my Acoustasonic. I took that last weekend to open mic. That was fun. But
and we got to talk about that for a minute too, because that's changing
for this week.
Yes, just this week.
Yeah, just this week.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
no, he's not taking over.
Oh man. Okay, so I have to be there.
Yeah, Truman Provincial will be out of town for open mic this week, so Damian Luna will be sitting in and running it.
Oh man.
And Damian's awesome.
Damian's he's that. You have to meet him.
Oh yeah.
To you have to meet this guy because he's just an interesting. He's such a neat guy, and if I could find it, so there's a song I want to do. Actually, do yours first.
Oh.
While I'm looking.
Well, fine. Can do that.
Yeah.
So, like I say, I know at least one guy in town, Dallas Ochoa, is going to like this one just because, he says he likes the sad stuff. And that's kind of where my wheelhouse is. So I wrote a new one called I Can't Go Home. And actually, it has nothing to do with me. Really?
Oh, really?
This was a weird song to write because I didn't write it so much because I had the words to get out. It's because it was late night and I was kind of playing with chords, and I kind of liked the way it sounded. Can't go home. I couldn't find my way. No place to turn around and nothing left to say. I can't go home. I can't go home. It's been a long road that I've been traveling down. I'm not where I thought I'd be, just hanging around, being the man I thought was me, but that's not me. And I can't go home. I can't go home. Couldn't find my way. No place to turn around and nothing left to say. I can't go home. I can't go home. You know that I'm not made of stone. Sometimes it hurts so much being alone, and I miss you so, but I had to go. Now I can't go home. I can't go home. Couldn't find my way. No place to turn around, nothing left to say. I can't go home. Can't go home. I was a match to your gasoline. We burn hot, but never clean. We left only ashes in the wind, nothing to mend. Now there's no home. I can't go home. I couldn't find my way. No place to turn around and nothing left to say. I can't go home. I can't go home. I can't go home. I can't go home.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I finished this up and I was like, this isn't really about me, but it's cool and it's kind of it's a lot slower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been told that I have a sound. I strum the guitar like a freight train.
The tuner's still on.
Uh-oh.
You don't want to bring your battery. That's cool.
Cool.
It's funny. I know. I in the short time that I've been writing, and we're talking about a month.
Mm-hmm.
I just found that sometimes I had written words, and I couldn't put music to it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I have music, I can put the words to it a lot easier.
Yeah.
It's like, so I listen to the song and the words. It tells me what the words are.
Right.
I had a guy a long time ago, a guitar player, fantastic guitar player. He said to him, music paints a picture. And it's what you do. Like sometimes you can make that picture look, gaudy and complicated, or you can make it look simple and neat. And it's up to you.
Right.
So you got to, and then I kind of looked at that and went, so when you write a song and have the music, you're painting the picture. And with the words and the vocals, I kind of describe the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me and went, oh, okay. So I'm trying to, because sometimes he wrote songs and something would come to my mind that it would sound like to me.
Right.
And that's when I first started writing words back, we're talking about 20 years ago, 98. But that's what I found. I've found it in these. I've done it easier that way. Because I had some ideas for words in my head, and it was hard.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people get overly flowery or they're overly involved.
Yeah.
Specifically, because they think they have to. And we had a whole period of music in the history that was all about that over ornamentation.
Yeah.
And that music is good for what it is. It's not my favorite thing. The way I figure it is you need to do some tweaking on some of that and bring it kind of down a little bit. My personal belief is if it ain't Baroque, don't fix it. So if you're not a music history snob, then you're a nerd or anything, then you won't get that. But I don't know, horrible joke, isn't it?
That's not bad though. But yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, got it.
But
and it's funny because I was thinking the other day, because I sang in madrigal choirs for through high school, and I would love to do a song that had that feel to it. Because I remember "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal, that had a madrigal feel, and I loved that song. But to me, the words didn't make sense. That bugs me the heck out of me when the words. I mean, I have a song I do by Stone Temple Pilots. I love doing this song. Have no idea what it means.
Yeah,
not a clue.
Yeah.
And that's the way with Stone Temple Pilots. Like, okay, I probably need to get really, really high before I can understand it. So
well, and the thing is, besides what the artist decided to do, there's also the second hand. Be very careful if you're wanting to, especially if you're a guitarist and want to pick up the chords for a song. Be careful Googling it, because some of these sites you find them, they're pretty well dead on. Sometimes there's a song that I'm working on right now. It's a song by Jackson Dean called "Don't Come Looking." It's actually why I've got my.
Oh yeah, you got that going.
Yeah, there we go.
He's got a foot pedal for
got a good foot pedal for the cajon going because of this song, and I found one place because it's so new that had the chords up there, and they're so wrong. Every chord was wrong. They were putting in extra chords that aren't there. They were doing E7 and A7, which I don't know. For certain types of music, they sound great. For country music, they don't sound right. And I kind of sat there and listened and broke it down and realized, oh no, it's the chords for the song are E and A, and that's it. 2-chord song.
Yeah.
But you get to listen to this and you want to put some more ornament and you want to make it something even cooler instead of just playing what's there. And sometimes it's cool just to play what's there, especially if it's a harsh song. Some of these 2 and 3-chord songs are just awesome the way they are without anything extra added on. And so you got to watch out for that as well. But yeah, unfortunately, because of all the allergy stuff, I can't sing this song right now because I can't hit the high note.
Yeah, I know. I just looked at this song I was going to do, and I'm like, I forgot I did that pretty high. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
I think I did this last week, though. But it kind of goes with, I don't know.
I know one that she did last week that I've heard from several people about.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people very happy about Fireball.
That's cool.
And I'm one of them.
And I did it Friday night.
Awesome.
No, Saturday night I did it, and it got a good reaction.
Good.
Because I was like, hey, like this is a song, and people loved it because I said, this is a song that was written by a friend of mine, but he writes in country, and I'm not country, so this is my version of his country song. So, and it got everybody's attention, and it got a good reaction.
Cool.
So it was fun. So yeah, that's cool. I got his permission to do that.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Sunsets on the ocean, listen to the waves, walking in the sand one more time. You'll always be there for the place I call home, only home I knew all my life. New start brings a new day, a new home so far away. Driving up the coastline on a mountain pass, never thought I'd leave this paradise. But the time had come, the time to make a change. Didn't have a choice, just couldn't stay. New start brings a new day, a new home so far away. So we tried the Midwest, tried to make a change, so different from what we call home. A change of seasons and a change of sides, summer days, star-filled nights. But at the time, it just wasn't home. Another change was on the way. A new start brings a new day, a new home so far away. Land of enchantment became our new home. Doesn't feel so far away. Loving the sunshine, the taste of Mexico. Mountains and sand is where we'll stay. Good people and music everywhere we go. Enchanted desert we call home. New start brings a new day, a new home so far away. Land of enchantment, now we call home. Brand new start, brand new day.
That's awesome, man.
That one was just fun.
Oh yeah.
That's one where the melody was in my head,
Hmm.
and I was in Walmart, and I'm sitting there going, "I can't forget this one. I know if I do." So I was singing it in my head
Hmm.
the whole time I was there. And because I thought I'll just sing it into my recorder on my phone, but I didn't want to do that like in the middle of the store because just felt weird. So I was singing it in my head the whole
You get used
time.
to it.
Yeah, and then I'm singing in my head the whole time. I get to the car and I sing it in my phone, and then it was like 2 days later. I finally thought, "What was that? Oh, I recorded it." And then this came along, and it was just it was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. I know they're not like I don't know, but I liked it.
Yeah. Be
It was
careful what
fun.
word you use here. I will jump your case.
I enjoyed that one. That was fun
There's all sorts of quality out there, and
yeah,
everything's different. Everything fits
yeah,
different people.
that's
If
cool.
you want to see what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
it's on Hulu right now. The first 5
Oh, that's
episodes.
right.
American Song Contest. They have
Yeah.
just finished the preliminary rounds. They have covered every state in the union,
Wow.
plus provinces and such. 56 performers
Wow.
in 5 episodes,
That's
and
cool.
they're all original songs.
Yeah.
And there's a handful of people. I'm just like, why are you there? We've talked about it, and it's grown a little bit. So yeah,
Yeah.
I've got Michael Bolton was out there. We've got Jewel, Cisco did a song,
Wow.
and the Crystal Method was on there. I like the Crystal Method.
Say Crystal Method. Okay.
Yeah, they're a real good EDM band. They're very good. But I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Seriously. But and quite frankly, their songs have not been that great. But some of these younger guys that are coming up, and they're not new. They've been working, and they've been doing their thing. And a lot of them have either had little minor record contracts.
Yeah.
They've opened for big names. They've been touring. These are not well, I just picked up an instrument and this is my dream now. These people have been working at it, and some of these songs
Yeah.
are amazing in
That's
different
cool.
categories.
That's really cool.
Yeah, there's a handful that just strike me, and actually most of the ones I like are not the country songs.
Oh wow.
There's a couple of country songs that were really good,
Yeah.
but there's a guy that did one. What was it? Helpless in Love, I think was the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool song. There was a girl from American Samoa that she did this song that was just awesome.
Oh wow.
Awesome. Couple of girls from Arizona, twins, that they did a mariachi type, mainly in
wow.
Spanish song that was gorgeous. Didn't score very high so far. We'll see. But it was still really awesome.
That's cool.
Our kid from New Mexico, he has a following that likes him.
Okay.
I'm not one of them, but yeah, he's a hip hop guy.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's
Yeah,
just not. I don't know. I used to be my thing, but it's not
I'm into
anymore.
some of it, but some of it is just a little bit. It's always been. I'm not really that style.
I
So
mean, back in the 80s, I was a break dancer and I loved listening to rap and hip hop. I mean, I was listening to Houdini,
mhm.
uh, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. I mean,
you're dating yourself.
yeah, I know. And
We don't talk about Jazzy
so
just in the
that-
safe
no.
and the Fresh Prince in here. Come here. What?
That's
Too
I
soon?
know. That's good. But but then it changed like 80s 90s, and that's when I couldn't listen to it anymore. To me, it was my thing anymore. And then I'm flipping radio stations and I come across this guitar sound. Now back in the 70s, I was a big fan of Kiss when they came out. Well, not they came out, I was like 77 when I first heard them, and I heard this guitar and I was like, what the heck is that? It turned out to be Runaround by Van Halen.
Mhm.
And then I got the album for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, and oh my gosh, I was hooked.
Oh yeah.
And that was it. I was listening to I was listening to not only Van Halen, but AC/DC, Ted Nugent. I was going back to the classic rock, and that's where I've been since.
Yeah.
I have a couple of clients when they come in. I play music in my studio, my nail studio with my clients, and I have like this classic hits.
Mhm.
And it's cool because it goes all the way back to the 60s to the news. It's all over the place, and it's awesome because it's like me, my show. I'm all over the place in my show. And but some of them I have to put over to the classic rock because they like to hear the old AC/DC and all that stuff. So yeah, I have a couple clients who do that.
Yeah.
I said to one client, I said, "Yeah, they came ACDC because ACDC came out with an album during the lockdown." And she's like, "Yeah, I never heard it." I said, "Well, hold on," and I played it. So it was cool. So we are listening to ACDC while I was doing her nails. I like that lady.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to find this kid's name because
Mhm.
I don't want to say it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, I'm not saying that I don't like him. I'm just saying that it's not my type of music. What he did very well. And you want to talk about somebody um who knew how to own that stage.
Right.
He worked that whole stage so well. Part of me was like, well, thank you for promoting one of our stereotypes because he's got a bunch of dancers in alien masks. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, we don't talk about this. Um, we just don't because people get into it with us about are aliens real or did it really happen? And we're not supposed to be telling people, yeah, it's absolutely real, and this is
Yeah.
they don't need to. The rest of the country is not ready for that information yet.
Are aliens real? It's like, well, they prefer to be called migrants, but
See, the truth is out there. If you're anywhere else, if you're in New
Oh,
Mexico,
yeah.
the truth is here.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, aliens are real.
Yeah.
Cully Soul is his name, and
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah.
It was strong. It was just it's not my sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, this is cool. And I'm listening to these songwriters, and there's a few of them they're focusing on the music or the party tone, and that's cool. And the
Mm,
words are, they're not deep. They're kind of
right.
cliched in time and places, but they work really well with the
Yeah.
song. And there were a bunch of groups that they just do these party songs. The guy from Puerto Rico you would love. He did a song called Local, Loko, and it was such a good song. It's not deep. It's not deep, but
Fun.
it was awesome. It was so much fun.
See, that's
Reggaeton
yeah.
style, and I mean, he was
Oh,
all over
yeah.
the
I grew up with
stage.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we had songwriters that were writing these amazing things. The guy that won a couple seasons back of The Voice, he actually did one of his own songs called Sparrow. Beautiful song.
That's
Beautiful song. There's a bunch of these that I just go back to and listen to because they're so good,
yeah.
so good. And I think they've been making pretty good choices so far
That's
for the most
cool.
part. Although Michael Bolton is
Yeah.
going through the
It's
second round.
it's it's like you hear some music that is so good, but yet what seems to get hit on mainstream is not.
Hmm.
It's you really it's getting to the point where I think that the local scene is just I have some people that love to come and hear me play,
Hmm.
and they like the music that I do, but some of them have said that they like the style that I do it in.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to a friend of mine's band. They did cover songs, but they changed it to their song. And I'm like, I like their version better
Hmm.
because some of the music is geared to be popular.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of music, when it comes from the heart and you hear some of these original songs that some of these local people are doing, you could tell there's a story behind that.
Hmm.
There's something behind that. There's something with that. And there's more to it. And I think
Yeah.
I think that's why here it's the local scene is it's so popular.
Oh yeah. And we've got some amazing artists that are doing their own songs.
Mhm.
I went out to see Acoustic Algorithm this
Yeah.
weekend at in Vintage, and he plays some covers.
Yeah.
They play some weird covers. Yeah. Yeah, they'll break into I want it that way. And I'm just like, oh yeah, boy band. Doing the hand
Oh
gestures when he's not
God.
playing. So
Well, here's the thing. I remember we were playing, and I got to see Daisy
mhm.
with Jaffe Ryder, and she goes, let's start with one that everybody knows." And there were some kids in the audience, so she goes, "Let's start with Baby Shark." And I'm like, I have to sit through this. I couldn't leave because I let her because when they got the PA system was kind of difficult. So I said, I'll just leave mine up and let her use mine. So I had to stay. The way she did it was so fun.
Mhm.
It wasn't exactly like the one that you get sick of because if you have a kid in the house, that's not. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I looked at my wife. I said, I actually enjoyed it. She goes, I know, me too. Because we both were thinking the same thing. Oh, here we go.
Well, it's what
But
you
yeah.
it's what you get.
So it's when you put something in, you got to hear
Yeah.
the local. You go out and hear the local people because they're the
Oh,
ones
yeah.
that you can enjoy.
And one of the things that Adrian said during their show is he made a comment about he says, well, towards the end of the night, says, you want to hear an original or a cover? And there were some people that yelled cover, but most people were like original.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're putting out quality stuff, people want to hear the new stuff because that's something that that's cool because you get to experience that sometimes for the first time with an artist, which is always fun and scary for the artist.
When I was in a band in '98, this is part of what got me kicked out of the band, is that I had written a song and the guys kind of did their thing to it and it kind of pepped it up a little bit and we kind of did that. So they said, let's put it in the set list. And we played it in the third set after we played a bunch of our other originals. They had originals written and I kind of put some vocals and lyrics to them. And the biggest reaction was from the song I wrote. And they did not like that. But when we did the song and we finished it and people were reacting well to it, I was like, wow, that felt really good.
Yeah.
And it was, when someone reacts to your song, when I played See Your Name for my wife and she cried, I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's why I felt I nailed it.
Oh yeah.
And I did it at a Vintage. My wife was recording, my originals because I had 3 at the time and she was recording those. But when I started to play it, she had to put her phone down. She couldn't do it. And the lady, one of the people that loved to come out and see, Susie, was sitting there holding her hand. And my wife, I could see her tearing up. I'm like, it's wow, I got her.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool. It's a great reaction. Yeah. And like when I played your song, people liked it. Mm-hmm. They thought it was cool.
Cool.
So it's like when you get that kind of reaction to those songs, yeah.
I wish I could have been there for it. I would have loved to have been
cool. Yeah, it was cool. Well, I played it at open mic. Or no, I didn't.
No,
I didn't
play it
at
here.
Open mic. Played it here, and then I got a good reaction from Diana, who was she actually messaged me to say that she liked it. And I'm like, yeah, it's your song, girl. I like to look at her face and I'm like, I thought you were his imaginary friend for a while. Sorry.
Yeah, and the scary thing is you were coming into the office when we're doing it over there at the other place. And she was back there, but she came out occasionally, but not very often.
Normally I just heard a voice in the background.
Yeah, I know that you did give her your card at one point. So, but and then the thing is, there's a lot of these artists that are doing this, that are doing stuff that's new and original and different, and they're going to be all over town this week.
Mm-hmm. Yes, everywhere this week.
That's what you call a segue.
There you go.
And actually, a forced segue because we kept getting off subject and going in circles because we do that.
We do that.
But
that's why I call it round table because we just go.
Yeah. So I may have to go out there again. I love this place anyway. TRC Brewing Company.
Oh yeah.
This Sunday at 2.
Yes.
Daisy Blue's going to be playing out there.
Daisy girl.
Love her to death. So
if you go out there, make a point to go up and say hi to her. She's just you won't be sorry.
Yeah. And if you can't make it out Sunday to TRC, she will also be at Rio Grande Winery this Saturday at 6.
Oh, cool.
So you're getting a double shot of her.
Yay.
This Friday, out at Salud de Mesilla, Dallas David Ochoa is going to be playing. He is so much fun.
Yeah.
I'd heard some stuff online of his, and I was like, yeah, he seems pretty good. And then I went and saw him. I was like, oh, he's a blast. Yeah. He's out of his mind, and so much fun. It's definitely worth seeing. Let's see. CW Ion and the Long Hairs are coming back into town. They'll be at Amaro Winery.
Oh, good.
This Friday at 7:30.
Okay.
So they're definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
And let's see, that's Rio Grande with Daisy. Dallas David Ochoa is going to be at the Bean at Josefina's this Saturday at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I finally got to find the place.
Yeah.
I was getting confused between the Bean and the Bean at Josefina's.
Yeah.
I happened to be in that area and I drove past. I was like, oh, There it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's down in the neighborhood
Yeah.
around where the plaza is, just off a little bit.
It's a neat place. It's a
Hmm.
very neat place, and the food is good.
It's cool looking.
Yeah.
Daniel Sanchez is going to be playing this Saturday at 6 at the Boneyard Cantina.
Mm.
Plus, don't forget, every Friday he's playing out at Luna Rosa
Yeah.
right now. So there's that. Tomorrow night, starting at 7:30, Amaro Winery open mic,
Yeah.
and
Hosted by
Damian Luna. He'll be stepping in for the
Yeah.
week, and so I got to go out there and play some
We
stuff.
have to. Yeah.
Plus, I may have a toy to show him.
That's
We'll see how that goes. It's in
Yeah.
Missouri right now, so
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah, it's
tracking
not
the
gonna
hell
make
out of
it in
this thing.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Definitely not coming in time for me to play it
Yeah.
out there. But yeah.
You're gonna have to get used to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be so much fun.
What we're talking about is
I'm stepping into the world of 12-string guitar.
It's gonna be fun.
We'll
12
see.
strings are just they sound so cool. They take some getting used to play. I have
Mhm.
one, but mine is kind of like I bought it, gosh, in 98, 99. And I don't like it. I'll just put it that way. I don't like it, but it looks pretty, but it's
Yeah.
hard to play. It just because I picked up a couple of the 12 strings that just are not difficult at all. There was I'll keep mentioning it, the Alvarez that I went to Hubbard's and I picked up,
Mhm.
and it was like there was no curve, learning curve. It was just like I could play it immediately. I was so blown away by it.
Right.
So
Well, and I tried to buy local.
yeah.
Hubbard's had a couple of Fender 12 strings,
Ooh,
which were nice,
yes.
but I actually don't particularly like the sound of a Fender acoustic guitar.
Okay.
Now, my Acoustasonic
Your
is not the
Acoustasonic
same
is totally
thing.
different. That's totally different.
And a Fender electric,
Yeah.
I love,
Yeah.
and I love playing a Strat because they feel good to me. And I think that they sound great. I think the tellies sound great. They don't feel comfortable in my hands, so I don't mess with them.
Oh,
But
Jeffy, we went out to see
yeah, his is
Jeffy when he
awesome.
was the long hairs, and he got me up to sing with him, and then he handed me his guitar and said, "Here," and I'm like, and I had such a hard time because
Yeah.
it felt very, very different. I had such a hard time, and I felt terrible for making his guitar sound so bad. But he was just such a cool guy. He's such a cool guy. That was,
Yeah.
I'm like, I am so sorry. And he goes, "No, man, it was fine. He did great." And I was like, "Oh man."
Oh yeah. No, I went up and checked out Messia Pro Valley Pro Music as
Yeah.
well. They have a bunch of 12-string acoustics. I
Really?
don't know why they have so many. It's weird
Huh.
because they're not a big store.
Yeah.
As far as it's not a Guitar Center or anything.
Right.
But they've got to have at least 8, I think, in there.
Wow.
And they had some that were a Washburn brand, but the nut the nut was so wide,
Yeah.
and that full body, I couldn't actually get my fingers around it very well. So I was like, yeah, and those are decently priced. If you're looking for a new guitar, they're definitely a place to check, as well as Hubbard's, because you don't know what you're going to find between the two of them. And both places, they try to keep the prices as low as they can. I found some intermediate guitars that were okay, but they didn't have the sound that I wanted.
Yeah.
I found one, and they were getting close to the one that I found online that I'll show off here on the show eventually. I did find one that sounded gorgeous. It was an Epiphone.
Oh.
Except it was $2,000. I was like, no,
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay
There's-
$2,000 to get myself out of jail.
There's that acoustic room that you go into Guitar Center in El Paso.
Hmm.
There's an acoustic room, and everybody know, and the guitar players are all like rolling their eyes. They know what I'm talking about, because you go in the acoustic room and you have all these but then there's another room at back of that.
Yes,
I don't even go in there.
it's a scary room.
I went in there one time just to see what was in there, and I thought, "Ooh, this is a museum." No, those are just the
High end.
high-end guitars.
You're looking
that
at
are-
stuff that normally starts about $1,000 and goes up.
Oh, cheapest was like $1,500.
Yeah. If you want to see the Acoustasonics and try them out, they do carry every
Yeah,
style.
Yeah.
So,
But it was like, those are just, they don't even let you touch them unless you're
Yeah.
serious. And I get it.
they had the last time I was in Guitar Center, they had a 6-string acoustic bass guitar. I was looking at this thing. I was like, oh my
Wow. Because
God.
bass acoustics, they're not cheap because they are so hard to make.
And so hard to play. Most people
Yeah.
don't want them.
Yeah.
So the demand is down.
Yeah.
But
There's,
yeah, the strings are just huge on these things.
and you get, and can, it's just, you see a guy playing acoustic bass, listen to him. He's serious.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And you got to know what you're doing.
You
Because
rarely see that. Like, I remember MTV Unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
It's like most bands, you'd see the bass player would be like, everybody acoustic except for the bass player.
Yeah.
And every once in a while you see the bass player, you're like, oh, with a beautiful acoustic. I had that first band I was in, they showed one night, we did a night where we just, everybody brought acoustic and we're just kind of hanging out because a friend of theirs was in town and they want to just jam. And the bass player had this acoustic guitar and he's like, nobody touches that. And because I looked at him like, oh, okay. And I literally did this. Like, I don't want to touch it because it was there. And he goes, yeah, he goes, he doesn't have a wife or kids because of that guitar.
There's something else. And the sound is gorgeous.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're all expensive. Yeah. Yeah, we got off subject a little bit there.
Yeah, again. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sassy Grass is having their grand opening of their head shop.
Oh, okay.
This Friday, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. They're at 3100 West Picacho Avenue. They're right there by the pizza place.
Right. Right next to Valley Pizza.
Valley Pizza, yeah.
It's actually the guy that owns Sassy Grass is the owner of Valley Pizza's brother.
Okay.
So the brothers that own the two places. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, they're going to they have all their glassware out there. They're going to have music, juice, vibes. They said it. Yeah. Vendors, raffles, and giveaways, as well as some awesome food by El Guapo Taco and Renew's Tuck Truck. Yeah. So they're going to have their own food trucks out there as well.
Yeah, he's got a Jamaican style food truck. He does Jamaican food. It's supposed to, I have not had a chance to try it, but I'm actually going to be playing there next Monday during lunchtime.
You need to stop talking about the food because you're making me hungry. Hey, it's a dad joke day. Yeah, what can I say?
You're on a roll today.
Yeah, you're going to be playing out there again. You've already played once.
You played once during the lunch. It's kind of like it's a different vibe and it's really cool. And it was a good chance for me to kind of go through. And then I had a couple of friends show up and it was just different. And so it's Monday. So Monday from 11 to 1.
And this Friday, they're going to have Hot Girl Shit Boutique. That's the name of the place. Morbid Makings. Let's see. Luminary Jade, Scarlet Dreams, War 2 Art, Bird Fam Farms, Funky Fresh Creations, Frame and Art Center, and Oxen Effect, plus, so they say many more vendors. Of course, the food trucks, they'll have Renew's Tuck Truck, El Guapo Taco, and Xanthi's Greek food truck. So they're going to have a mix of everything. Music starts at 4. A Billy Free, Ziggy Lova, Galaxy, DJ Pervy, War Weapon, and La Chapuza are going to be playing. So that could be cool. They're making a go of it. They're expanding their business. And
they have. He has hard. He has the owner's a really cool guy, and he has some great. And then his event coordinator, the guy that his manager basically, who does a lot of different things. TJ, he's really cool. Kind of ADHD, but he's a really nice guy.
Let's see. Rio Grande Winery this Friday is going to have at 6 p.m. We're going to have Ted Scanlon and the Desperados. Sunday at 4 p.m. They're going to have Tony Montano. So yeah. Salud de Mesilla is going to be doing today at 6 April Rainbow Drinks again.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that's an association with Southern New Mexico Pride, and yeah, good drink is a good drink. Las Cruces Community Theater is coming back up, and they're going to be putting on a musical review of The Villains of Broadway.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you want to get a hold of them for ticket information. Las Cruces Community Theater, lcctnm.org online. A group of Broadway villains is attending a support group meeting An ensemble of your favorite performers will provide an entertaining evening of delightful music from new to old Broadway productions. A jam-packed show full of villains we love to hate.
Oh wow.
So, do they show what the price of tickets are? Maybe. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so apparently the 24th through the 22nd through the 24th of this month, they canceled
Mhm.
that
Oh,
performances,
okay.
but everything seems to be going since then. Adult ticket prices are $17 a person. Seniors, student or military, $14. Children 12 and under, $10, and then uh, student tickets are $5. May have to wait until 15 minutes before curtain with valid student ID if seats are available.
Mhm.
So that's kind of I think a last minute thing. 10% discount when you buy 6 or more tickets. 20% discount when you buy 10 or more tickets for a single performance. It looks kind of cool. I am seeing the pictures they've got up there. I'm seeing a picture from Wicked.
Oh my
If you've never seen Wicked, Wicked is amazingly well
Yeah.
done. I kind of when I was still with my ex, she was a huge Broadway person, so I got exposed to a
Mm,
bunch of this and realized there's some really good stuff out there.
yeah.
Um, I see a picture from what looks like Little Mermaid. I see a picture of King George from Hamilton.
Ooh.
If you've not seen Hamilton, and of course, getting on Broadway to see it is expensive, and you got to get into a show.
Yeah.
They do have it on Disney Plus, and it is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Um, Historically, fairly accurate, which is about all you can get from
Yeah.
anything these days. It's considered, a historical truth.
Yeah. We're watching The Chosen,
Hmm.
which is the story of Jesus, and it's amazing how they took their liberties. They took some liberties with it to kind of keep it entertaining
Right.
because Jesus is not the he's got a sense of humor, which a
Hmm.
lot of people believe that he was more like this than the way he's portrayed. He's usually very, very solemn and very serious and all the time.
Yeah. Well, you
Whereas,
had to be because he had that halo that he had to keep
yeah,
over his head, so you couldn't walk fast.
yeah, but
No
he
laughing
was
allowed.
no,
Yeah.
but in this one, he's very he's a friend and it seems a lot of people believe this is the way he was
Hmm.
because yes, he was serious, and yes, he got his point across, and yeah, he always had these great things to say. But I think his attitude was not the always serious, always deadpan, and it was different. It's a different. So and then we're looking at the accuracies, and we're kind of now we're like we got to go read this book because we see the characters, and I'm like Matthew. Well, we're gonna go. All right, when we're done with this, we finish this. So this weekend, we're gonna start reading the book of Matthew because Matthew was portrayed differently than we've ever heard.
Uh-huh.
And so we're like, it's really cool when they do take certain liberties, but then again, it's also interpretation.
Cool. Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh yeah, always.
it's really you gotta it's really cool.
By the way, the other picture they have up here is for Legally Blonde, um, which gives them, I believe, one song choice because really the villain in that
Yeah.
is her law professor,
Yeah. So
and it's a great song called "Blood in the Water."
yeah.
By the way, yes, when I'm saying that I'm a little bit of a Broadway nerd, I am.
Yeah.
I don't have to look this up. I know this.
Mhm.
Great song. I actually watched MTV actually had a film crew when they first premiered Legally Blonde.
Mm,
I believe it was off Broadway at the time,
okay.
but showed the whole thing of one of the first performances, and it was amazingly good.
Yeah.
Laura Bell Bundy playing Elle Woods, and a lot of people don't know who she is. She had a very short country career, and she was a dancer on Dancing with the Stars, I believe,
Oh, okay.
and just a real very talented woman. And quite frankly, if you want to talk about a good musical, Legally
Yeah.
Blonde really is.
Oh, okay.
Um, a lot of these are. I'm sorry. I thought that musicals were what I grew up watching, and it's South Pacific. It's My Fair Lady, and it's like,
Mhm.
okay, that's fine, but after I've seen it once, that's enough. I don't want to go into it a whole bunch more than that, but there are some amazing stuff out there. Like I said, I mentioned Wicked, I mentioned Hamilton. They did a musical version of Young Frankenstein.
Mm,
Mel Brooks was involved every step of the way. He
yeah.
wrote the music.
Oh, wow.
It's so good. It's very Busby Berkeley-esque, and it's so much fun.
That's cool.
And the nice thing is there's different levels to it. We were sitting when that came to Pope Joy in Albuquerque, which they'll have the traveling shows come through, so you can get tickets a lot cheaper than traveling. Yeah, one of the characters after her Night of Passion with the Monster, the Madeline Kahn type character,
Mm.
she sings a song called Deep Love. And there was an older woman behind us that you could tell when she realized what the song was about, she started laughing uncontrollably because they're talking about deep love,
Yeah.
long love, hard love. And it's like, okay, yeah, we know. But yeah, once she but she's listened to the words, and once it hit a point that she realized what it was, yeah, she just lost it. And you can do that with a musical. You can have fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can do something like Les Mis, which I've seen and could not speak afterwards. I was so emotional and choked up and didn't think that a musical could do that to me. Because I'm just like, yeah, I'm a guy.
Yeah.
But, ooh, it's so powerful.
Yeah. They can, operas were the forerunner to that. And
Mhm.
yeah, operas can be really, really, even though you don't understand the language,
Mhm.
you get what's going on. So yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. As long as it's not in French, I'm fine. Because, for me, what's that mean in English? I surrender. If it's French, it's got to be I surrender. Yeah. I get into trouble with some people. Jessica Flores, who plays a lot at Rio Grande Winery,
Yeah.
is actually going to be playing this Saturday at 6
Mhm.
at the Icebox Brewing Company on Picacho. So she's awesome. I have yet to see her live. I've got to get up there and see her live.
Mhm.
But I have seen her her online stuff, and man, she knows how to play a stage big time.
Mm.
Captain Claus is coming back to Little Toad this Friday at 9. Okay, sorry. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Okay.
The idea of going out to see a show that starts at a concert that starts at 9, yeah, it makes me shudder a little bit.
Yeah.
This Saturday at 7:30 at Amara Winery is their salsa night, of course.
Mhm.
This Friday at 6 on the Plaza de las Cruces, they are having their Day of Dance. So you want to go out there and check that out. It's very, very cool. That's on the downtown mall. Yeah. And it's open to everybody. 6 p.m. they'll have New World Drummers. 6:45 p.m. they'll have Las Cruces Chamber Ballet and the Chrysalis Contemporary Dance Company. 7:05 Golden Divas. 7:10 Jewels of the Desert. 7:25 Ballet Folclórico La Perlas del Pueblo. 7:45 Golden Divas. 7:55 an NMSU dance program. 8:15 Golden Divas will come back. 8:20 belly dancing. 8:40 the Golden Divas come back again.
Wow.
8:45 Firefox Productions. 9:00 Hipsham, and 9:30 will be AM Ballroom Dance.
Wow.
So it's a whole bunch of different dance all in one day,
Cool.
which I think is kind of cool. I hope
That
it's
is
kind of
neat.
cool. It seems kind of cool to me.
Yeah.
For a guy that can sort of keep a rhythm as long as he doesn't, have to move, and who actually got forced into dancing at NM Vintage. Yeah, there are some people when they drink, they get very friendly, and I met a girl that did that, and she was getting everybody up and dancing. I was like, oh, do I have to?
Yeah. That's funny.
But I wasn't gonna be a jerk about it or anything.
Mhm.
Let's see, Captain Claus. Yeah, there we are. There's karaoke tonight at Amara Winery, 7 o'clock, starting at Amara Winery tonight. Borderland Beer Fest at Dead Beach Brewery. That's in El Paso.
Okay.
So
Got
yeah,
my
I'm not quite
attention.
sure where it is, but yeah. Saludos Demesia this Saturday at 6 p.m. Drag Queen Al Fresco.
Oh yeah.
So, you really need to try that sometime if you haven't. It's kind of cool. The going to a drag show.
Mhm.
Let's see. Tail Trail trivia at Dry Point Distillers tomorrow at 7. Rock and Jump Trampoline Park. This is kind of cool. Tomorrow, that's Thursday, 2 to 4 p.m. They're going to be doing an autism awareness program.
Oh.
So let's see. Program will be dedicated to children with autism. Tickets will be $10 for the 2-hour block. Yeah, basically raising money for autism awareness, which it tends to fly under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
When anything else comes along, we tend to forget
Yeah.
about that at all. Rio Grande Theater. Are they going to be? What are they showing? LCPS Theater is going to be presenting Peter Pan. Oh, Centennial High School, Las Cruces High School, Mayfield High School together present the stage play of Peter Pan.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's
and it's all
very
3
cool.
schools together.
That's neat.
Apparently, so admission is $10 a person, $5 for student with student discount with your ID. Doors open at 6, play starts at 7. They've got a concession stand there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've seen Peter Pan, the stage performance, when I was little.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to say who was starring as Peter Pan because it'll really date me.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody will say, "Who's Sandy Duncan? I've never heard of her."
Of course, she did it for years.
Oh yeah,
she was. Oh yeah.
So yeah, and that's the majority of what's going on.
Very cool.
I do want to say that while I was out at in Vintage watching Acoustic Algorithm, their seating is at best strange. Yeah, there's not really a better way to put it than it's strange. And they have some tables that are just little tables that are out there.
Yeah.
And they'll put a couple of chairs nearby. And all I saw was a chair with this table. So I took a seat. All, the normal seating places were kind of filled up. And I didn't pay attention to the fact that there was a seat on the other side of me. Well, this girl comes up a little while later and she sees this chair. She comes up and she asked me if she can join me. I was like, yeah, I didn't even pay attention. I was like, sure, of course. Well, we start chatting. And the cool thing is everybody that saw us that knew either one of us thought we were there on a date. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Her name is Christina. Really, really nice girl. And good sense of humor. We had a lot of fun. We were sharing pictures of our puppies with each other. And she is in a band, the Wild Cards.
Okay.
So because of her, I know about this, even though it's not on our normal list of stuff. They will be playing at the Game 2 this April 30th, which is
next Saturday.
Is it Saturday?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is Saturday. So they're going to be out at the Game 2, 7 to 11 p.m. And I'm going to try and make it out there to hear some of them because I told her I would do my best. I
just realized Saturday is the Spring Fling at Amaro Winery, which is a bunch of vendors. It's basically a marketplace of vendors.
Awesome.
And I'll be there with my spa. It's a good thing because I got stuff I got to get prepared for that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
So I think that's about it, except for the stuff, there's so much that goes on at Cruces Creatives.
Yeah.
Make sure to check them out. I will point out one thing that's going on this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. With Cruces Creatives. 205 East Lowman, if you want to find them. They're going to be doing their costuming for beginners class.
Oh.
So, yeah. Ren Fair, conventions, cosplay. I assume if you really wanted to do the whole furry thing, they could do that too. Yeah, basically the basics of how to get into, costuming yourself.
Yeah.
Which, you get into, different conventions, either science fiction or comic. you get a lot of this cosplay stuff, and that's what it's called, is cosplay in
Mm.
that environment. And there are people who actually make their living
Oh wow.
as cosplayers, and then of course then
Yeah.
parlaying that into costume development for themselves for other people.
Got it.
So it can be a big money industry, and it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
If you've never gone to something, especially something nerdy, dressed up in costume, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
I went to a convention, and it was me and my wife at the time, and we dressed up. Yeah, she had a Harley Quinn outfit she put on. I had my Green Lantern outfit because, well,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we had a friend with us. She's like, "Oh no, I would never dress up. So I want to dress up." Says people are going to think I'm stupid. They're going to make fun of me. Well, we got there, and she saw everybody's reaction to us. And by the end of the day, she's like, "Well, the next time we do something like this together," says, I need to find a costume."
Yeah.
So
I remember going to a Renaissance fair. The first time I went to a Renaissance fair, and that was like they go all out for that. And I remember
yeah,
looking around, going, I saw the woman of my dreams and the women of my nightmares
uh-huh.
many times throughout that night. It was insane.
And occasionally you see the woman of your dreams and realize that woman has an Adam's apple. Oh, I went to a convention that this guy was there. I didn't realize it was a guy till I got close and talked to him a little bit. He was dressed up as Flo from the Progressive ads.
Oh,
And I tell you what, everything was spot on. Perfect. The outfit, the hair, the makeup. The only thing was a scarf around the neck. And I was like, so I went and talked to him. Says, I really love your costume, I love the way you look. He says, oh, well, thank you very much.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, that explains the scarf. And I was telling, it looks amazing. It looks so good. And who would have thought to come to a comic book convention is that? And it worked.
My daughter, she was when my daughter's 9th birthday, we were living in Southern California. So we went to Hollywood Boulevard.
Mhm.
And so we're walking around, and my son thought it was so cool because we got to take a picture with Darth Vader. And then we were walking through, and my daughter goes, "Oh, it's Marilyn!" And there was someone that looked like Marilyn, just doing poses so you could take pictures. And then she's standing there, and I'm looking, and we're all looking, and my daughter is the one that says, "Mom, is there something different about Marilyn?" My wife leans over and goes, "What are you talking about? I think he makes a really good Marilyn.
Pardon me.
I think he makes a really good Marilyn." And
Yeah.
my daughter just went, "Right."
Well,
I mean, she looked great. And then you look, and then you realize after a few minutes, wait a second.
uh-huh.
Then, of course, my son being a drag queen, I've been to many pageants. I've been to a few pageants, and, talked to many drag queens where, my son was even confused that, my son, who was 18 at the time, he looks around, he goes, you got to be careful around here. He goes, because some of these guys are good.
Oh, yes.
The way that,
this is not a joke. And by the way,
Yeah.
it's also not a sexual thing.
No, it's just
because there are drag queens that are completely straight.
Yeah.
But
So-
they take it very seriously, and they're very good at it.
Yeah, it's a performance thing.
Mhm.
It's well, I thought it was funny when I went to graduate from my associate's degree. We had a meeting, like a meet and greet of students at the place, and I started talking to this woman, and she was standing by herself and looking uncomfortable. And I went over to say hi, because we were all just a bunch of the graduates are kind of, it was a mixer for the graduates, and we started talking. It was about 5 minutes. I realized, of all the people that I am talking to the guy, the guy that's living as a woman.
Mhm.
And I told my wife, I said, and I told her, and she goes, of all the people back there, that's who you end up talking to.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Anybody who listened to the show a few years ago when it was still on Radio New Mexico
Uh-huh.
will actually remember this. See if I can find the right shot. Just so I can show you, because everybody pulls this at some point or another.
Hmm.
Mhm. What if I type in? I know what to type in. I hate this stupid stuff. Trying to figure out Um, how some of this works is just a pain in the caboose. Mhm. So that's not going to work. I can't cheat. That's too bad. Um, so I'll show you some. I'll show you one of the shots. It's not a bad shot. It's not as good as someone that when we were out, but hello.
Okay.
I actually came on the Roundtable show when it was still on Radio New
uh,
Mexico,
uh-huh.
and I was dressed up as Bette Midler's character from Hocus Pocus.
That's good.
And by the way, I make a fairly pretty woman. Not great, not great. I mean, you're not going to sit there and want me, posing in your magazine, but or maybe you would, depending on what your magazine is. But uh, it's fun, and when you sit there and put the work into it, there's something kind of cool about that. So I hated being shaved. That didn't take long for me to grow back my beard back. But yeah, that was the first time I met Trisha Quillen from Safe Haven face to face.
Yeah.
She came out. She saw me in the parking lot and was trying to figure, who's this woman that I guess she's on the show because she's grabbing equipment and pulling in. And she got there and met me. And yeah, the first time she ever met me, I was not dressed as a man.
Wow. That's funny. When my son was performing, we went to see a few of his shows, and the host of the show was this one, I can't remember her name, but it was this popular drag. My son is a very popular drag queen out in St. Louis, and actually he's been traveling a lot, being asked to do guest hosts for a lot of pageants. And but there was one place, and she would always end the show by saying, "Remember, ladies, if a man can look this good, there's no excuse for an ugly woman."
Well, I will tell you, some of that stuff, it is they put in so much work, and they go so far above and beyond.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a bit much. I think I would let's not do that.
Okay. My son, when he gets ready for a show, it takes 4 hours for them to get ready from start to finish. Yeah, it's like we had 4 guys. Our house. I'm telling you, my house in Missouri. This happened out there. Neighbor sitting outside with her mother in the front yard, because that's everybody did that, and it was just when you got a chance to sit outside, you did. So she's sitting outside, and they were just out there all day, and she sees my son and 2 other guys walk in. She goes, "Oh, that's her oldest son." So they're sitting there talking. Well, 4.5 hours later, oh my gosh, that's good.
That was all 3 of us out there.
Yeah.
I need to find a way to post this so people can see it. It's it's crazy.
So we're sitting there and they're still out there 5 hours later, or they came out. But anyway, they were out there when my son leaves. So they see 3 guys walk in, and 5 hours later, they see these 3 very made up women walking out, and they were very confused. So next thing you know, there's a knock at our door, and she goes, "Okay, so gotta ask." We're like, that was our son and 2 of his 2 of the guys he performs with. They're on their way to do a show, and she's like, got this blank look. Went, "By the way, our oldest son is a drag queen," and she goes, "Oh, you guys are so interesting." Because when she had first moved in was one of those weekends where it seemed like the whole show choir was at our house. Because our son, they'd come down in the basement and hang out there. And so she walked over and asked me, "Okay, so how many kids do you have?" Because there were just so many kids walking in and out. So that was a nut house.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she sees 3 guys walk in, 3 women walk out. She's like, "Wait a second." So we just thought it was funny because I noticed her out there when we said goodbye. We walked back, and I hear the knock at the door. I look, I go, "That's our neighbor." Open the door. "Okay, I have to ask." She didn't even say hi. She just opened the door. "Okay, I have to ask."
Well, and there's a bunch of ways to do stuff when you're doing cosplay too, because you can also go, the glamour makeup and actually go the whole wet route. Or I was at a sci-fi convention in El Paso. Guy was out there, hairy, beer gut, rocking the slave Leia outfit. And
I don't want.
he's got the
Stop.
he's got the gut out there.
I don't want to know.
And you know
that
what?
image.
He was having a blast. He was just, this is what I wanted to wear, and I know it's ridiculous, and I don't mind being ridiculous. And people were coming up and taking their picture with him like crazy. There were celebrities that were saying, "Hold on a minute," and they stopped their lines for doing autographs so they could go take a picture with this guy and grab him.
That's hilarious.
So
there is if you get a chance, I wish I could find it. Carrie Fisher did a one-woman show.
Yes.
And she talked about her life and her career. And let me tell you, that was freaking hilarious. She was an amazing woman. And this show, she was just, I just had an image of that. She talked about everything. And I'll tell you, it was better than most comedy shows I've seen. I mean, most stand-up comedians, she just, it was hilarious. And if you ever get a chance, we played it that one time.
Wishful Drinking.
Oh, that's what it's called? Okay. And matter of fact, we played that when she did when George Lucas was honored by, and she did that speech. He goes, George Lucas licensed everything to the point when I look at myself in the mirror, I got to write him a check for a couple of bucks.
Yeah, it's actually out on DVD if you want to buy a copy of it. I own a copy of that.
That's so cool.
It's it's on streaming services as well.
If you want to get you got to see it. You just got to see it.
Oh yeah. Oh, how about this? And I've got to get out there to check these guys out. I've been told a few things about them, including that I need to contact them about playing there.
Okay.
So Public House 28 Brewery, Anthony, New Mexico. Barely Anthony. It's this side.
Okay.
So it's 10,092 South Highway 28. It's just down the road from Chopes.
Okay.
They're doing a vintage motorcycle show this Saturday, noon to 5.
Oh man.
So kind of cool. Yeah, if you want to enter, it's a $10 entry fee. They're going to do RGS performances, Law Tigers, Lane Splitters, Liberty Cycle. There's no cover to get in. This could be kind of cool. Oh,
it's going to be very cool.
So yeah,
it's vintage. That's going to be really cool. I remember going up we were at we stopped one time in California. The kids were with us and we saw these cars. So we stopped so the kids can look and stuff. And that was this guy with a rat bike. And I looked at it and I thought my wife looked and said, "This has got to be the ugliest thing I've ever seen." And I said, "But it's beautiful." My wife is like, "How are you gonna?" And I remember I said, "This is a rat bike."
Yeah.
And it turned out the guy that was standing next to me was the owner. And I said, "This is not a bike that he bought and that looks like this. This is a bike that he put together. And there could be 50 different bikes that this came parts from to make this bike." And she's like, "Oh." And then she looked at it and she goes, "Now I get it." And he looked at me like, "Thanks." I went, "I'm sorry." And he goes, "That's mine." I went, "Beautiful job." And he goes, "Thanks." Because a lot of people walk by and go, "Oh my God, well, how ugly is that?" And because it's California. But I looked at it because I just saw a documentary not too long ago about, motorcycles and stuff. And I'm like, no, you have to know what you're doing to make that thing run. There's, maybe, okay, aesthetically it's ugly, but there's a beauty to it. And he was like, "That was really cool." The guy just looked, "Thanks."
Oh yeah. By the way, Sparky's Barbecue, this let's see, the 15th, which is next week, 12 noon, Rockabilly Strangers going to be playing out there.
Very cool.
So that's a longer term thing to keep a hold of.
That's cool. Yeah.
Also, the 22nd of next month, Rio Grande Winery, Daisy Blue is going to be doing her release party for her album.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm all excited about this.
Oh, and I got news. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm going to anyway. Sage Gentlewing. He is right now in studio recording his new album.
Cool.
And he's got some great guests that are some great players that are going to be playing on with him. So that's going to be something to look forward to.
Huh.
I got the insight on that.
Sage Gentleman getting a little bit of praise for his music. I think he's going to be fine with it.
Yeah, I think so.
That's been his life for forever.
It's he's been doing this for
So yeah, that's about everything we've got going on. We've got some other stuff going on that's out of town, but oh God, I wish I wish I could make it out to Fredericksburg at some point. They're going to be doing the Hill County Motorcycle Rally run.
Mm.
KRWG is going to be doing their Beer Confidential. This will be May 5th, Thursday of next week. Free beer sampling at on Cinco de Mayo. It doesn't say who's going to be there. Doors open at 5:30. Beer sampling till 9. I can sample a lot of beers by 9.
Where is this at?
This is at Rio Grande Theater.
Mm.
No admission to get in at all. Weird. Okay. Seating is limited, so you want to get there early. Put on by Rio Grande Theater, KRWG, Premier Distributing. Interesting. Yeah,
Cool.
I've had many days that I've spent all day and into the night sampling beers. I didn't realize that there was a high end name for it, and that it was socially acceptable. But now I do. If you guys want to come by tonight, I may be sampling some whiskeys.
There you go.
It may be the same bottle, the same type over and over, but you have to be sure. Yeah. So it takes a bit.
I never was. I didn't start drinking when I was in high school. That was it. You drank beer. That's I didn't because I couldn't stand the taste of it. And then later on, now I'm like, I like certain. My son is a connoisseur of craft beers. I mean, he came out here and he wanted to. He goes, "Where can we get a local beer?" And I went, "Oh, okay." So I took him over to Kelly Liquors, and we got a couple of local. And he is hooked on the pecan beer.
Oh yeah,
he is hooked on that. When I go out to Missouri, he's like, "Hey, do you think you can sneak a few of those out here?"
Well, it's taken me a while over the years to figure out what I like, what I don't like. It takes a while.
It's fun finding out.
Yeah,
that's why I love the wineries out here. You just get a flight and just went to the first we heard of it, and the first we got it was at the Icebox on Picacho when that night we met.
Yeah,
and oh man, my wife was enjoying that because we just picked a bunch of them, and then the guy we ordered 5, and he put those on. He grabbed another one. He said, "I got you another one." He looked at my wife and goes, "I think you might like this one too." So he, that's the one she ended up getting because it's just fun. It's fun. And wine tastings, there was one place in Missouri we could do a wine tasting.
Yeah, it's constant out here.
Yeah, out here it's everywhere.
Yeah, and Rio Grande Winery has it one day a week. I forget which day it is, but. And they're definitely got the sample stuff. They want you to try this stuff. They want you to know what you're getting into because they want you to tell people how good it was, not, "Oh, I had this thing and it was horrible."
Yeah.
So they don't want that.
Yeah.
So if they can beat that to the punch,
then you get every once in a while they have that wine that they haven't put out yet at the day, and they say, "Do me a favor, give me an honest opinion. Try this," and it's one that they don't even know that if they're going to bottle it or not.
Yes.
And they'll get to and so that every once in a while that happens. That's cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's about everything going on in the area.
Very cool.
Get out and hear some music.
Yeah, definitely.
Or go see a show.
Yeah,
we can see shows now.
We can go out. We can do things. We can have fun. So.
I thought about making a smart remark, but it would be politically based, so I'm going to avoid it today. Because I'm actually capable of being good sometimes. Not often, but occasionally.
Yeah.
So that's what we got going on.
Cool.
I'm going to try and get to some more music because it's been fun getting to hear different people. I actually DJ'd a private party at a semi-private because you could still come in, and some people did. At Amaro this past weekend.
Oh,
cool. For our kids' confirmation, and it was so cool. It was a lot of fun. These people are insane, and their music tastes are right up my alley. Yeah. So I was playing, cumbias and salsas, and then I was playing country, and then I was playing specifically war.
Oh,
they wanted war. There were two people there. They're huge fans of the band. And we got to talking while it was planned, and one of the guys talking about, how they got to see him live, and I was like, I want to strangle you for that. Oh my God, that's so cool.
back then that was the production. And it was
Oh, yeah.
not
It's a huge band.
choreographed. There were certain
No.
parts that were choreographed, but it was still
Yeah, they
just
didn't do a lot of it.
huge.
Basically, they were just a jam band.
Yeah, they were huge though. It was a huge band on stage. It was
Yeah.
like a lot going on.
Yeah, something like, the Parliament Funkadelic,
Yeah.
or Parliament, as they came to be later on called, George Clinton's band. Yeah, they put a lot of work into choreographing what they did and when. Yeah, with War, they were just a bunch of top tier musicians up there playing, and they did stuff like Lowrider, Cisco Kid, Why Can't We Be Friends? They did Spill the Wine with Eric Burden, but they also did these jazzy things that the songs are like 7, 8, 9 minutes, and they're just going back and forth. And I'm not a huge jazz fan, but the way War did it was just so good and so smooth, and just some of the finest musicians you'd ever see on a stage, just playing together and having a good time for hours.
That's cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, that was fun playing for those guys.
Yeah.
It always is, and they pay really well, so that helps too.
I actually got asked to do a private party. I'll be doing it in July for a friend of ours who her dad is. They're gonna be doing a party for it and really like what I did and enjoyed hearing me. So they're gonna put on a party, and they asked me if I'd play. I was like, yeah, of course. So that'd be fun. Yeah. It's gonna be really great.
Let's be very clear. When you're talking to a musician and you ask if they'd be willing to play, for the most part, they're gonna say yes.
Yeah.
If it's an event where we're gonna throw you into a volcano but want you to play as you're sinking in, they might say no.
It'll cost extra.
It'll depend. Yeah, it depends on the musician. Some musicians, they'll do it for free. I've never done that before, so it's a new experience. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just any chance to play. It's like, yeah, cool. I remember I was talking to at one venue, and he says, well, we don't pay much. We just do this. And I'm like, I just want to play. And he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But that'll be fun.
That's cool. It's fun playing for a private party.
Yeah.
It's got to be even cooler and more intimate when you're playing your own stuff. I've DJ'd a bunch of them, and just DJing, you become adopted into their family for the day, which is a neat place to be. And you definitely got to take it seriously, because you're part of their family. You don't want to screw up their day. I've seen it with bands. I see it with DJs a lot. Weddings, especially, when people will sit there and say, how was your wedding? If the first thing out of their mouth is about the entertainment, DJ, band, whatever, that person screwed up, because it's never good if they're the first thing that they mention. You want to be there, but not there at the same time. You want to kind of fade a little bit, but still be present. And it's a hard mix to make. But when you do, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
my first wedding, our DJ he was fantastic. He was so good. There was never a dull moment, because usually like that part where we're taking the pictures and everybody's just kind of sitting around. Apparently he started right then, and everybody said, oh, how's it going so far? And they go, oh my gosh, this guy's so much fun. We've been having a great time already, so that was really cool. There were people that left our wedding exhausted. Because there was so much going on the whole time. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think that's everything.
That's everything.
I don't think we've got anything else going on.
No.
You've been kind of begged a little bit to come out to open mic tomorrow night.
I'm gonna try, and I should be able to. And with your help, I'll probably be able to make it. We're having an issue with the vehicles at our house. But yeah, my wife is like, I told her, I said 7:30 to 10:30. She looks at me and goes, I'm in bed by 8 these days. Like, have fun.
Oh, that drives me crazy. Yeah. There was a time that I was living that way, and I can't.
Well, she gets up early. She logs in at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's funny, because last night we were getting ready to, I said, do you want to go take a shower and go to bed? She goes, no, let's watch something first. So we watched something on Paramount, one of the shows that we watch. Halfway through, she's asleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was like 8:30. I'm like, yeah, she's not going to make it. We're going to have to watch it again tonight.
Well, I'm up late. I'm up early, but if it's not at least midnight, I'm not able to close my eyes.
I went through that. Gosh, I went through that a few years ago, where I slept 4 hours a night and I was fine.
Yeah.
Any more than 4 hours and I was sluggish all day. So.
Well, there's a lot of times that, weird hours of the night,
Mhm.
weird hours of the morning,
Yeah.
and I'm over in my music room with my guitar, and I'm writing and putting stuff
Yeah.
together, and until I can't focus anymore, and then it's like, okay, I think I can sleep now. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, I wake up with this tune in my head usually, so that's good
Yeah.
or bad. I don't know which, but yeah, I think we've
Okay.
got enough time. If you'd like to play us out with a song,
Sure.
because
All right. I'll do
the
the
less people
one.
have to hear me sing today is probably a better thing for them.
This is the one that took 7 years to write.
Cool.
So it's
I don't know if you want to say it that way because it's got to be damn good after 7 years.
oh
That's
yeah.
that's setting the bar really
Oh
high.
yeah. Well, just I did. It was an idea, and I didn't think it was good, so I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Standing at a crossroad, watching the life gone by, thinking about decisions made that brought me to this side. Told about it, told too many tales, lied too many lies. Found myself all alone, drowning my demise. Told about a savior, told that he died for me. Couldn't understand it, wasn't something I could believe. Waking Lazarus up, helping a blind man see, making fishers of men and walking on Galilee. What does he have to say? What does he have to do? What do I have to see? I believe it's true. So I ask my questions, told how to believe, told all the answers are in the word that he left for me. He took the keys from Satan, gave me authority, showed me a mustard seed and showed me how to believe. Waking Lazarus up, helping a blind man see, making fishers of men and walking on Galilee. What does he have to say? What does he have to do? What do I have to see so I believe it's true? Don't understand how it can be true. I know I have to try something new. Page after page I read, stories start to shine, learning about these lives and how they connect to mine. Learn how to live my life, be a fisher of men. Cause the Savior I was told about is coming back again. He woke Lazarus up, he made a blind man see, he made fishers of men, and he walked on Galilee. Know what he had to say, I know what he had to do. I understand it now, and I believe it's true. I understand it now, and I believe it's true. I understand it now.
That's awesome, man.
That one's fun.
I think that you kind of got in your own head on that one for it to take that long because that's a
Yeah,
great song.
yeah. I had the chorus written about 7 years ago, and I'm like, yeah, well, that's
Of course.
yeah,
Yeah. It's kind of the way it works,
yeah.
but yeah, it is what it is. But thanks for joining me again.
Of course.
We'll have Trevor on next week.
Yes, hopefully Trevor will make it this time.
You'll be dressed up as Chewbacca,
No, I won't.
but I already said on the air, so it's true.
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy you the costume and
Anyway, yes, next week will be our May the 4th be with you show.
hmm
So we're gonna have fun with that.
yeah, and we'll have the conversation of who shot first.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway.
All right, you guys have a good week. We will see you soon, and Let's see if I can. I can
Take care,
reach it
everyone.
from here.
Here you go.
Y'all take care.